super cute.
No, you can't do that.
3, 2, 1. Beep.
Hello, J-Fam.
We are not used to being in front of the camera, so if we seem awkward, we just are awkward.
Yeah, we are. So, and this is, I'm saying too much.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
Okay. Our story, which our kids have heard this story so much, it just makes them want to throw up in their mouth.
I'm about to hear it again.
Say it.
But Parker and Ray are the only ones who are brave enough to... Brave enough? No, what's the other word?
Stupid.
Stupid enough.
Are willing to suffer.
The reason why we're telling this story is because we are two people who should have never met. And we were brought together by Heavenly Father.
We had both been through difficult divorces. You don't get married planning or thinking divorce will ever happen to you. We both ended up single. Me with 6 kids, him with 4.
We met online, and I had no intention of ever going online, but I thought, really? Going online? Losers?
What do you mean going online?
Huh?
What do you mean going online?
Dating websites. As my divorce was coming closer and closer, it's like, I just had this really huge inspiration to put a profile up.
My older sister, Mia, talked me into putting a profile on a Christian singles website, and I rebelled at the idea at first, and I thought, oh, why not? Maybe it could just be fun.
I was looking through the profiles, and she looks nice, and then there was one profile said DJ Divine, and it didn't dawn on me what that meant. It's like, so what do you do? I remember asking you that question. It's like, oh, I'm a mobile DJ. Oh, duh. The way that she put up her profile was her kids were the litmus test for guys. You know, if they liked him, then that'd be okay. Otherwise, she would have a friend, and you can't have too many friends. So I responded.
So I had my profile up for about 3 months. And even though it was a Christian site, there are so many creepy guys on there, let me tell you. After about 3 months, I'm like, I'm tired of this. This is going nowhere. So I was ready to take it down, but I went into my spam folder, and I don't usually check my spam folder. Usually I just delete whatever's in spam. I saw this message from Bill Dent Clark, and he actually sounded relatively normal.
Little did she know.
Yeah, that's true. What I mean by normal is a lot of times these guys that aren't normal, the first thing they'll say is, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. The compliments are like overwhelming. And instead of doing that, he just commented on how he liked that my children were so important in my life, that it was important that they liked whatever man that I brought home.
I get this email, and we start emailing. It was kind of difficult. She said, I'm having difficulty here. I can give you my number, and if you turn out to be a creeper, I could just block your number. Okay. So I just sent a message back saying, I'm not a creeper. People just think I tell bad jokes, but they're haters.
Have you heard of dad jokes?
They're called
Never heard of them.
Pretty much.
puns. They're called puns.
Yeah, that's pretty much. He lives to tell his dad jokes.
Can we get an example?
Hey, Pops, I'm hungry.
Hi, hungry.
That's a dumb example.
My favorite one is a horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, why the long face? Or a sandwich walks into a bar. Bartender says, we don't serve food here. So, see, he chuckled.
That was a pity laugh.
We texted for a couple hours that night. We really connected. We connected right away.
We had been texting for a little bit that evening. I texted him. I said, okay, I'm about to go into a funeral home. I need to stop texting you. I need to behave.
And I said, that's probably difficult even on a good day for you.
I started laughing because I'm like, how does he know me so well?
I said, you know, the people are just dying to get into funeral homes.
J-Fam, that should have been my clue right then.
She continued to text me.
So then what happened is I was going into a bank. And you know how you have your phone and you're walking, and all of a sudden you accidentally call someone. Your phone. And I did! I was going into the bank! My phone starts ringing up this man that all we've done is text. I haven't talked or anything. And I, stop it! And I was freaking out. And I'm like scrambling for my phone, trying to stop the call. And I was so embarrassed because we hadn't talked about talking or anything. And I'm not the forward type that's going to call him first. I immediately sent a text so much. I said, sorry, it was a pocket dial. That was an accident.
And I almost said back, I said, we hadn't talked about it. We had really, really connected. We really honestly had. And I wanted to talk to her.
It was. We had fun texting. We had some fun banter.
Yeah, we did.
Some jokes back and forth. So I looked forward whenever he texted me. I looked forward to it. It was fun.
The next day, our daughter Morgan.
So my daughter Morgan, she was a banshee working in a haunted maze. Some guy ended up shoving her to the ground. So I let him know that this just happened to my daughter. And
I sent back, I said, hey, do you want to talk? And she said yes. For whatever reason, I got really nervous. And just before the call, I said, if my voice cracks like a prepubescent boy, I'd been married for 30 years, 36 years before my divorce.
And I was married for 20.
This was all new to me. We started about 8 o'clock, right? We talked till 3 in the morning. And we did that for about 2 weeks straight. I was teaching. I had to be at work at 6:30 in the morning, so I wasn't getting much sleep. And then she said, no, we can't do this anymore. And
I said,
me
we
off.
need to be off the phone by 11.
I sent her a text one day and I said, what do you like to do on a first date? Now, I wasn't fishing because I wasn't.
Sure,
I was
you
fishing,
weren't.
but I wasn't like ready to ask her out just yet.
So,
honestly, no,
so
I really
J-Fum,
wasn't.
listen, J-Fum.
J-Fum.
J-Fam, listen, okay? Listen to me, not him. I remember this very clearly. I was in the bathroom getting ready for something, and I get this text. So, what would you like to do on a first date? Okay, answer me. I'm not done yet. So, answer me, J-Fam. If some guy texted you and said, what would you like to do on a first date? What would you be thinking?
They're asking you on a date.
No, I said.
Thank you,
I said,
Ray.
what do you like to do on a first date?
Exactly.
That's still the same question.
That's the
But I wasn't asking her on a date just yet because I didn't say.
Oh,
"Will
so you were
go
just
on a date?"
teasing me.
No, I was finding. I wasn't asking her out.
Okay, so I texted him and said, are you asking me out?
I'm thinking, I might as well go for broke. Yes, I am. And she says, I would love to go on a date with you.
I don't know that I was that enthusiastic.
You were so enthusiastic over it. It's
It's like
the greatest.
full of it.
I've been losing sleep. Every time we talk, I won't.
So
I
anyway,
want to go on a date with you. You're so fabulous. You're so freaking awesome.
Gosh. Y'all aren't as young as when you met.
You take the whole table with you. I said yes, but I was nervous. I was very nervous. You know how it is when you get your hopes up about something, but then you're worried that it won't be as great as your hopes are up? We didn't explain that you lived in Indiana.
Right.
I lived in St. Louis. Watch our first video, and that gives you a little bit more.
Yes, it was exactly 4 hours from my door to her door. Oh, well, she's cute. And so I said, okay.
And I thought, he's funny.
Yeah, no, she didn't say the cute part. She was
Because
really,
we
really
had
nervous.
connected spiritually and,
Emotionally.
yeah.
Honestly, we were falling in love without even seeing each other.
Yeah.
We really had.
Yeah, that's what makes this next part so horrific.
And this is like my favorite part.
Ugh,
When
J-Fam. Oh, okay. All right. So,
Donut.
she was so nervous. She was so nervous that I'm thinking,
how could you resist this?
I mean, when she sees this, she'd be asking me to marry her. It's just that. I hadn't been on a date in 36 years. What do I wear? I thought I looked really nice. I went to the absolute best donut shop in the world in Indianapolis called Long's Donuts. I got like 3 dozen donuts for the kids. So I brought
Yeah,
those.
he bribed my kids so they'd like him.
I gotta tell you, we all liked him. Like from the second he walked in.
And
Y'all,
Yeah,
I
go ahead and
just
get in here.
If you are ever in a situation like this, okay, for any guy that is trying to impress a woman's children, if you come in holding a box of donuts, you cannot fail. Like, there is no way that could go wrong. Unless they have a gluten allergy.
Which you do.
But I ate them anyway.
You did. This is the key part. I had a beard, and it was red and gray. So she says it's mostly gray. I'm thinking mostly red with some gray. And I get this impression like the Monday before the Saturday. Shave the beard. No, she's never seen me without the beard. She won't like me without the beard. So the next day, shave the beard. No, can't shave the beard. Thursday, shave the beard. I didn't listen. I was late. So
With
I'm
a dozen yellow roses. They were beautiful.
can't buy red roses because we don't know each other yet. Yellow roses are the appropriate rose to buy.
I think that's adorable that you would know that.
And I've been using my phone's GPS to drive, and I thought, no, you know what? I'm like really close. I should be able to find it from here. I ended up down to the interstate. Finally, I pull into the garage. There she is standing in the garage, and she just dropped dead gorgeous. I'm thinking, wow, I hit the jackpot.
You know, how you're excited waiting for someone, then it doesn't come, and then you start to get kind of frustrated and nervous. Anyway, so he finally makes it there, and I'm nervous. I go down to the garage. Okay, this is what I see. I see an old man. He's 10 years older than me. I already felt that I was getting old. And he gets out of the car. This is going to make me sound so judgmental, but he gets out of the car. I swear he is wearing my dad's clothes.
We have a photo,
We have a photo of my dad and I dancing.
and I swear I'm wearing
my
the
dad's
same
clothes.
shirt. I
He's
swear.
wearing my dad's clothes. And he gets out and he's limping. Now you have to understand, we never FaceTimed or anything. I never saw this.
What? You never FaceTime?
No, not
And you
once.
thought it was a good idea to just see each other in person? You didn't even know what each other looked like?
You got you
We saw
donuts.
pictures.
I saw one picture of him and he was laughing. And I was like, oh, he looks jolly.
I remember seeing his picture and I thought he looked like a monkey. That's not even a joke. Mom, do you remember that? Mandy remembers.
There's a laughing,
I kept
bearded
saying-
old guy.
Well, I never saw a picture of him
Okay,
laughing.
he
I just saw
looked-
his profile picture and I said, this is the guy. He looks like a monkey.
Okay, he looked
His
happy.
face is hairy.
Yeah. But
Shave the beard.
what I was doing, I was trying not to judge on appearances.
He looks less like a monkey in person.
I don't know what you say to that, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So he had a full head of beard. I'm not a big fan of
Full
facial.
head of beard.
Oh my
Or a
god.
full bearded head.
I'm not a big fan of facial hair. I saw him and my heart just sunk because I didn't feel any spark. I didn't feel any.
Was what I felt.
Not only did I feel disappointed and sad, I felt guilty. I felt shame that here this man that I was connecting with, when I saw him, that I didn't feel that connection. There was nothing. And I just wanted to cry. I
And
was
one of
just
her
so
first
sad.
lines to me was, I can feel like there's a stranger in my garage. It might be worth noting that this was Brooke's birthday.
It was my daughter's birthday, but it was the only weekend that was available for both of us. And so I asked Brooke, I was like, is it okay if this crazy man comes to visit? And she said it was okay. She's super sweet, but I do know that this was difficult for her.
And her ex-husband was there.
My ex-husband came over for Brooke to open birthday presents
Ooh.
and have cake. So here I am with my ex-husband, who we're still working through issues at the time, and with this new guy that I didn't even know who he was to me. That was the most awkward moment of my life.
You think he was awkward for you? They're opening presents, right? And so, and I'm standing there. It's like, where do I sit? But anyway, we got through that, and we have a guest room. And that's where I stayed, and we had a chaperone. She goes, "Are you hungry? I'll make you some breakfast." Now this is how amazing she is, right? She's like, doesn't want me there.
That sounds horrible.
but it's true.
It is true. She
Yes.
came up to me. Okay, I
Right?
gotta say
Okay,
this.
get in
she
here.
comes up to me, like, I think this is that night probably, and we're in the kitchen, and she just looks at me and she's like, I don't know about this. And I was like, I mean, I had to root for this man. He bought me a whole box of donuts. So I was like, Mom, you literally just met him like a few hours ago. You gotta give him a chance.
We
Boom! Best friends. You're welcome.
she makes me breakfast, and so I know she's hurting, and I just looked at her and I said, if you want me, and I meant this, and I didn't mean it viciously, but very sincerely, if you want me to go home, I will.
And I couldn't do that to you.
No, and you said
I
I'm not that
couldn't.
kind of a person.
No, making you drive 4 hours to say, oh, yeah, that's not happening. Just go home. I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't have given up.
But that's when we went downstairs to talk.
Right, she's sitting there, and we're sitting close to each other.
And I just start crying. I'm sad that things didn't work out the way I was hoping they would. I'm sad because I don't want to hurt this man, because he's a wonderful man that I had really come to care for. And so I was sad all the way around. I wanted to feel something, and I didn't. And this man who didn't take offense at any that I was feeling, what he did is he actually wrapped his arms around me, brought my head to his chest, and said, do you recognize my voice? And I went, yes. As I'm like sobbing, and he's like, then just close your eyes and listen to my voice. And that
We had a good
was an
conversation.
incredible moment,
Yeah.
showing me how compassionate and how kind that he was.
I don't know that in that situation most people would react that way, and I don't know that I would normally react that way, but I didn't.
The Spirit
Was there.
The Lord's Spirit, it guided us through this whole thing, because neither one of us, things didn't happen the way we wanted it to or planned to, and yet both of us had these crazy inspirational moments to act a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so sweet to the kids, he was so sweet to me, and the weekend proceeded.
Is this the part where you
It
make
was-
out?
No.
Oh, that's the next time. Okay, sorry.
This was Sunday afternoon, and you were getting ready to leave to go home because you had to work Monday.
So I'm standing at the door, and I said, so, where are we? She goes, we're just friends. I think,
I friend zoned him.
'Cause
He said, can I
really-
still come over for Thanksgiving? And I said, can I think about it?
Ooh.
I know!
That
I
is
know!
quite. I wouldn't.
was-
If I were you, Pops, I wouldn't have even expected her to text again, because that kind of response just ain't
Oh.
right. Can I think about it?
Yeah, I did.
did.
But then I actually called him the next day, because this was going to be my first Thanksgiving without my children. Why shouldn't we at least make it the best we can instead of each being home alone?
Here's the thing. I knew the beard was this thing. When I got home, I shaved my beard immediately.
And he asked me if he should shave his beard. I didn't feel I had any right to tell him what to do, because we were just friends.
Sure
So
we were.
we were.
We're friends.
We were just friends.
I think that day was, for me, was more awkward than the first time.
Him and we knew each other, but we didn't know each other. He didn't know Nancy. Nancy didn't know him. Nancy knew I didn't have any feelings for him.
So she said.
Okay,
his
is it
chest
such
and
a
saying,
thing that
"Listen
you
to my
like
voice."
someone from a distance?
I
Like,
guess that's kind of fair. I
You know
feel
what
that
the
way about my
weirdest thing? What
siblings.
the weirdest thing was?
he
Hey,
says,
call
well, is
me
it okay if I
sweetheart.
put my arm around you or we cuddle? And I said, well, I don't want to lead you on. I'm not that type of girl. So I figured that I liked his touch because I was starved for affection. I'd been alone for quite a while.
Just
And
because I'm freaking awesome.
I said, as long as you know that we're just friends, if you want to put your arm around me, okay. Because I want to lead you on.
And I was fine with those rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
He was okay with those rules.
I need to get Nancy's view on this, because I remember her just being like this was really awkward.
Yes.
Yeah, she left as soon as she could.
She couldn't stay. So this is 6 o'clock at night.
Right.
She had to go. We decided to set up the Christmas tree and get lights on it. And then we put on Home Alone. What I loved about watching Home Alone with him is he would laugh. He would belly laugh. And I loved that because I love to laugh. I love to have fun. We were having so much fun watching this.
It gets to be about 8 o'clock, and it's like, where are the kids?
My kids were at Doug's. They didn't tell me they were spending the night. Well, then he can't spend the night in my house with nobody there. I mean, that wouldn't be appropriate. So I was like, I am so sorry. You're going to have to leave tonight. So we're sitting. The movie is ending. This is the crazy part, J-Fam. It was about 9 o'clock. I didn't want him to stay too long and have to drive home. I'm sitting next to him, kind of cuddling because I like affection. I'm an affectionate person. And into
What
my
do you mean
mind,
by kind of cuddling?
your arm around me.
No, that's not kind of, Mom. That's cuddling.
Oh, no, we were cuddling.
Okay.
But there was a
whatever.
lot of electricity in the air.
So I was like, it kept popping into my mind, what would it be like to kiss him? And I'm like, ew, no, what am I thinking of? I don't think of him that way. And again, into my mind would be like, what would it be like to kiss him? And I'm just like, I'm like, ew, why would that even pop into my mind?
It definitely wouldn't pop
But-
in my mind.
Now, during this time,
better yours
I'm
than
actually
ours.
kissing her.
Okay. So he is like kissing me on my head and on the side of my face. And I'm
Shall we
getting,
demonstrate?
no.
Oh.
So I'm
Sound like a kid.
I'm getting, I'm not kidding you. Electricity was so strong in that room. It was insane. And so he's kissing and he kisses me like right here. And so I turned my head and his lips got me full on my lips. I'm telling you, J-Fam, I saw fireworks. It was the most amazing kiss I have ever had in my life. Oh, it was incredible and it was intense.
I was very nervous, actually, kissing you. It's like,
Yeah,
Kissing.
Kiss Day won for 6 years.
I know.
Oh my gosh, this boy can kiss, let me tell you. And my kids are like dancing in the background, I think trying to distract themselves from hearing the gross parts.
This is the part where they
Honestly.
usually start to throw up in their mouth.
They do. This was the most incredible night of my life. So, and this was kept PG, but we kissed and talked and laughed and ate. After a couple hours, we'd be hungry. We'd go get something to eat. We'd come back on the couch and kiss some more until 6 o'clock the next morning.
Right.
Like I said, this was the most incredible night of my life. This was insane. And at one point, I just started to cry. I mean, the tears just started running down my face. And I remember you looked at me and you're like, what's wrong, you know? And I said to him, I said, what if I don't feel this way about you in the morning? And what did you say?
Well, then I would have had this one night with you.
Is that not the most romantic thing you've ever heard?
If I wasn't throwing up, I'd say that's cute.
We were like, okay, you need to go home.
And I was no longer in the friend zone.
But I still wasn't sure where he was at.
Friends
So-
that kiss.
It was an up and down courtship.
Ray. Things ended up developing, and here's the thing is that the Lord told me that this was the man I was supposed to marry. And I cried. Basically, J-Fam, I was just scared. I was just so scared. And there's times in our lives where the Lord asks us to do things that we're not comfortable with, that are scary. But I tell you right now, if the Lord asks you to do something that's hard, He will make a way for you to do it, and you will receive incredible blessings for having followed Him.
From my side, is that, so it's a 4-hour drive from here to Indianapolis. I had a pattern. I called my dad, who lives in Pennsylvania. We talked for about an hour. I listened to Beatles songs. Outside of that, this praying is about the only other thing you have to do. And the Lord kept telling me, be patient. She will come around. Both my faith and my patience were really pushed to the limit. The amazing thing was that everybody just got along from the get-go, and it's always been that way. And that's not the norm, and we know that.
Our children, they love each other. And you can see that from the many vlogs that we've done. And they have so much fun together, and they laugh, and they're crazy, and I can't imagine life without all 10 of the kids now. We both had a lot of baggage, and when you go through a divorce, you have a lot of baggage that you're still carrying. You really have to heal and work on yourself to have a successful relationship, because you can't change the other person.
No.
You can only change yourself.
We gave the life coach the permission to kind of share information back and forth
As needed.
She had what she called at the time a whole soul intensive. It's a 3-day seminar. So we break for lunch. I'm really nervous because I know she's going to say yes.
Could you please reenact this? I think the fans would really like it if you reenacted it.
We'll do our best.
I go upstairs. I said, we need to talk.
The way he says it, he comes up really serious and said, we need to talk.
I didn't say it that way. We go outside, and there's this white wrought iron bench. We're sitting there. I look at her and I say, I'm really nervous, so I'm just going to say it. Now
I'm sitting here going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
I had planned the most beautiful, stunning,
that's what you say.
Most fabulous proposal in the whole world.
Yeah, that's what you say.
And I said, will you marry me? And she
and my reaction
starts crying. She did. Her tears just started coming down her face.
I started crying, and this was my answer, JFam. I said, I know I'm supposed to say yes.
Now when the tears came, I'm thinking, oh crap. And then when she says, I know I'm supposed to say yes, I'm thinking, oh crap. She goes, I don't want another marriage to fail. And I looked at her and I said, nor do I.
And here's the thing that we didn't tell you ahead of time. So I had been praying to the Lord about whether to marry him. Even though the Lord has let me know in feelings that I was supposed to marry him, I wanted a firm reassurance that this is what I was supposed to do. And the Lord said, you need to take 2 steps into the darkness, and then my will be made known unto you. And I'm like, no, I want to know now. And so what happened is I did say yes. It wasn't a fun yes.
No.
But here's the thing is right after I said yes, I was like, oh crap, what have I done? What have I done? And the rest of the day, I was shaky and nervous. I went to bed that night just praying to the Lord. Please help me know I made the right decision. Please help me know. And I tell you right now that I woke up the next morning, there was such a peace in my heart that I hadn't had in such a long time. And I knew in that moment I had made the right decision. And I had that peace all the way through until our wedding day. Even though things got crazy, trying to figure, we only had 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
To plan our wedding, because we felt that's when we were supposed to get married. I know this was all from the Lord and from his Spirit. I know that he lives and that he loves us and that he wants to guide and direct us to what's best in our lives. We just need to turn to him and trust in him. And sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes it's really scary, and sometimes it's painful even. But in the long run, the joy that will come outweighs anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. As rocky as our relationship was at first, and as rocky as our marriage has been early on,
which is more story for another time.
Absolutely. I don't know that I would change anything. I really don't, because you can find joy in the journey. We were both committed to each other and to the Lord. It's like, this is what we want.
And that's why we set up time for joy. That's when the joy truly came. And that's when we realized together with our crazy 10 kids This was our time for joy. And that's what we're trying to share with as many people as we can. We're so grateful to be here and to share our story with you and to share our incredible children. We tease them a lot, they tease us a lot, but there's a lot of love that goes around too, and joy.
And we thank you for being a part of our lives.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
if you
We're
have
always
any
here to serve
questions,
you guys.
feel free to
Thank you for
comment.
being here. We're really grateful for everything that you have provided to us.
And we really do want to hear your spiritual stories.
Absolutely.
Our kids have heard this story so much, it just makes them want to throw up in their mouth.
I want to hear it again.
But Parker and Ray are the only ones who are brave enough to... Brave enough? No, what's the other word?
Stupid.